YouTube? What the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back with the Dwarf Campaign on Total War Warhammer. And some of you may be asking some questions, so I'm going to go ahead and... For the people who are really wanting to see the West Rome campaign, I get it. I messed up the one episode with my microphone, and honestly, I just got this new graphics card installed. I'm really trying to see how it runs Warhammer. I want to record Warhammer right now. I will continue the West Rome campaign. It's probably going to be a little later. I don't know exactly when. I know I had told you I was trying to get it out, and I was, but I had a lot of other stuff I wanted to get to, and it just really wasn't obviously on my priority list. I'm not leaving it behind, so be patient. It's going to come out, and I will get back to it for you. But I wanted to go ahead and jump into some more dwarf action, and we'll move from there. I wanted to stream this, actually, but my ISP was only providing me with 5 megabits of upload speed tonight, which is well below what I pay for and kind of frustrating, and it's really not good enough to run a good high-quality HD stream off of, so I decided to just record instead so that we didn't run into a bunch of annoying problems. So sometimes if you wonder why I stream sometimes and sometimes I don't, it has a lot to do with whether or not the connection that day is really proper for streaming and whether or not it's going to give us what we need to have a good experience. So let's see. We need to... I accidentally strayed into a whole other province down here at Karag Asgout. We need to capture Misty Mountain anyway. And let's kind of just see where... So Death Gorge. Kradtommen? Yeah, whatever that is. And Misty Mountains is down there. And we had started to put a few more Dwarf Warriors here. We're about to have some more Quarrelers. We have a lot of money right now. The army up here in Blood River Valley is also recruiting in some troops. Blood River Valley itself has made some pretty big improvements in terms of its stability and just overall profitability, which is good. These are things that we need. I think I'm going to go ahead and plop a Slayer Shrine here. I think that's what we need to do. Can I... Let me make sure. I need to be able to recruit gyrocopters. And that allows the recruitment of gyrocopters, gyro bombers. Iron Drakes, gyrocopter, because we need the Engineers Guild Hall. Engineers Guild Hall. Guild Hall. Okay, so if we build the Guild Hall and then also upgrade to here, we can make the gyrocopters and the gyro bombers. I'm going to wait just a couple of turns to do it because I want to go ahead and build the Slayer Shrine as well, so we can get access to all these cool units while we have a little bit of money. We'll do that. We've got some troops training in the several different armies. There is another gold mine, by the way, but it's controlled up here by Zufbar. I believe it's, yeah, right there at Mount Gunbad. And honestly, making a run for this settlement early in the game is a good idea. It's easier to take than Black Crag, and you get the gold, and I just thought I should point that out because it's a mistake that I made earlier in the campaign, and definitely should have gone for it first. Let's go ahead and end a turn. Give our troops who have been warring a bit of rest in a very non... Well, there goes my Thane again.
Why should I hear you speak, Zangonaz?
Zangonaz? I don't know what he called that guy, but I like it. Thorgrim does some pretty... Thorgrim and Manfred have some pretty funny introductions here into the diplomacy screens, which are pretty funny. Some nice banter that they throw out there. I really like it. So yeah, this is running on the 1080. So was the Empire campaign yesterday. It's running very good. It's on the Ultra settings, which my old 970 could run Ultra settings, but by the time I run it on Ultra and I'm recording and you get into battles and stuff like that, it goes well below the 60 frames a second on the 970. If you're not recording and stuff, the 970 will run this game on Ultra. If you're recording like me, so that Thane is actually just straight dead. So, great. No. That was my Runesmith. That's much worse than that having been my Thane. That was not like a low-level Runesmith either, like he had gotten several upgrades. That's absolutely infuriating, actually. Of course, that's a level 21 Goblin character. So, that's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. I can recruit another Runesmith, thank goodness, but it's going to take me a long time to level him up to where I was at. But, oh well, we're just going to have to live with it. I've still got my Master Engineer in this army, which is nice, and I actually have a Thane in this army. It's hard for me to get these guys leveled up with... you have to do it better from the beginning, number one. But number two, the AI cheats, period. When it comes to the agents, they definitely get bonuses. There's no question about it. They even got bonuses to it on normal when I was playing on normal. But you can do a lot better than I have done. And I want to point that out because I don't want this whole thing to just be like me whining. If I would have spent more time on all my agents, like deploying them and leveling them up on this tree down here, it makes them a lot better at being agents on the campaign map, and then focused on these things up here that I was doing at first with a lot of my agents. I was trying to turn them into melee heroes, and melee heroes they were. And then on the campaign map, they get bushwhacked. So really, that again, that's kind of my own fault. So just, yes, the AI is kind of cheap like that, but at the same time, play better than I did, and you don't have to worry about it as much. So hopefully that makes sense. So I lost my engineer there. That's definitely unfortunate. But it's not going to stop us from campaigning. Let's go ahead and move up here with Thorgrim. I don't see... Death Gorge has a decent garrison. I don't know how decent, but they've got a garrison. Woo! 6 turns to train Iron Drakes in the global recruitment. What can we get locally? We could get one more Dwarf Warrior, which honestly that would probably be helpful. Only 2 turns to get Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, but that would only be helpful if we were up against like Black Orcs, which we may be coming up against some Black Orcs. Kind of thinking about whether or not this would be worth it to maybe get rid of this miner, which is going to be less useful. And I've got Longbeards. Probably ought to bring in some Longbeards with great weapons. It's going to be considerably more expensive, but probably worth it in the end. So I'll go ahead and hold off on moving forward for just a minute with that army. But let's check out the garrison here. It's Orc Biggins. So this one's not as substantial. I mean, if they have walls, it could be a little trickier, but their garrison's really not that substantial. So I feel like we can push the issue over there. And then we're ready to hit the Misty Mountains. We'll actually get rid of one of the grudges. I still need to get a Greenskin agent or character killed with one of my own agents, but it's not going to happen easily at this point. Not at all. I'm going to save some money to build up the Engineers Guild Hall. So that's why I didn't spend a lot more of the income that I had. And let's see if we can get ourselves some fights with the Greenskins. One of the things I really like, well, there's a couple things I really like about the Dwarf campaign that kind of makes it feel a little more unique. You do spend a lot of time fighting Greenskins. Doesn't mean you can't fight other factions, or that you won't, because you will. But you definitely are going to spend a lot of time early game and even mid to late game fighting Greenskins. But the nice thing is you get these underground battles. Those are fun. Underground interceptions are a lot of fun. Just moving underground in general is cool. And then I like that the dwarves get like all these different weapons and technologies that kind of make it feel like you're leveling up your civilization. To me, they have that very nice feel to them that way. Now, every civilization obviously can get better over time. But like I said, for some reason, I get a real sense of satisfaction out of the dwarf tech up period. You know, like where you're teching up. I just find it to be a great deal of fun. This hero protects hero actions against local settlement by 15%. So I'm actually going to bring this runesmith over here into the Blood River Valley and deploy him, and just start letting him level up so that we can try and work on getting him back to the level that we need for a runesmith. Can we recruit any other heroes? Probably, but let's go ahead and build this Engineers Guild Hall that we need. And there's a lot of other buildings that I need to build, but we're just busy getting some other stuff done. We need to go off of a marching stance with this army, and we'll just go ahead and move against the Orc Rebels at the Misty Mountains, I think. Yeah, they don't have any defenses because their settlement's damaged due to being just rebels there. So we're going to go ahead and actually use that army for the first time in a long time. I think we're in a good position, about to take a lot of dwarf territory and do a lot of sacking and other stuff as well. And once I get done with those high-level military buildings, I'm just going to start taking all my income and pouring it back into economic buildings, you know, like just really driving economy. And honestly, I think my best way to defeat the Greenskin agents are to defeat the Greenskins. So that's going to be my real best bet. I don't want to give these guys military access, really, because I want a bunch of these Greenskin lands for myself.
Friends of the Dowie.
These guys keep paying me to go to war with the vampires, and the vampires keep paying me to stop, and I just keep taking the payments. But I'm kind of untrustworthy because of it, but yeah, whatever. Whatever. Okay, so one of my lords is back, and I think he was in this army. So let's go into the details here, and let's boot this guy and bring in our level 12 lord. He's going to be better off. He's got a lot better stuff. Armor +8, fire resistance, charm shield. Wow, that's kind of cool. Damage resistance. It's just a common item, and this one's uncommon. Physical resistance +8%. That could be handy too. The Helm of Discord, though, is brutal. That's... oh, but that one's on Thorgrim, so we're good. Who's this guy, though? Cazador Dragon Slayers. I think he's one of my other active lords. Let's just give this guy this one, the Charmed Shield. That's kind of neat, I think. Yeah. Let's do that one. There's no available talisman for him. We've got Featherfoe Torque, which will take away some of the damage. The Potion of Toughness does give my guy a lot more armor and melee defense. This one takes away armor piercing and weapon. I'm going to leave the Potion of Toughness on him. And we can't do anything with the talisman, so we're good. Alright, so we got our better lord back there. That's not going to hurt anything at all. Got a couple turns, I think, before I get the units I need there. We got the gem cutter going in that province. It's going to be super handy. Again, though, let's go ahead and end some money and just go ahead and focus on getting these high-level military buildings finished. And then, like I said, we'll just turn it all towards economy. The Stain has leveled up, and again, I'm going to do my best to just keep leveling these guys up down here so that I can make them better on the campaign map. I'm going to try and refocus my agents. Rebuild, refocus, do it right, so that the Greenskins stop wrecking me so badly with agents on the campaign map, because they are wrecking me something fierce. Manfred von Karstein was trying to ambush. We're going to safeguard against the chaos, because I, again, don't typically want any extra chaos corruption at all. Let's see if there's... I could go ahead and build the hangar here, and I can also build the highest level armory. Let's go ahead and start working on the hangar, because it takes a long time to complete, and then I'll be able to start spending my money on some of the other much needed improvements to these areas. Okay, Thorgrim's army is back up to full strength. We got a couple of long beards with great weapons. These guys are armor piercing as well as being inspirational. So this is nice because we can inspire our line of dwarf warriors and other units while providing a much needed punch back against a unit like Black Orcs, which come very heavily armored. Now this Master Engineer, again, I probably need to be leveling him up down there, but since I've already gotten so close, I'm going to go ahead and finish Deadeye, and then I'll start working on him down here. But again, just know that this is kind of backwards. But I do want to go ahead and... Actually, I didn't really need to finish Deadeye, but I think now that I've gone out of that screen, I can't fix it. I was thinking Deadeye helps my whole army, but I think it just helps him. So yes, I should have probably gone ahead and done it the other way around. Let's go ahead and fight this battle. We're up against an Orc war boss, or yeah, a war boss. Raguk Brainbasha. I love these guys' names, really good. A couple of Orc boys, goblins, goblin archers, wolf riders, and a couple couple of wolf archers. So let's take these guys out. We do have a couple of miners with blasting charges in this army too, which is pretty sweet. And then Cazador Dragonslayer is a pretty sweet name. Got a grudge thrower also, so yeah, the orcs are going to get forced forward. It's not going to be a pretty battle for them. Let's get our warriors up front, flanked by our miners with blasting charges. And let's get our quarrelers ready to go. Thunders are going to need to go up front. We just have one unit of those. And I have one unit of quarrelers with great weapons. That's pretty nice. So it gives them an armor-piercing attack and melee, I believe. Yep. So it makes them not a good melee unit, but a much more formidable melee unit. Pump those dwarfen legs. Okay, we gotta do some shooting here just for fun. I like trying to shoot the grudge throwers sometimes, even though I'm pretty bad at it. Plus, it gives us a chance to appreciate the sweet, sweet ultra graphics that this game provides. And the DX12 patch isn't even out yet. Are we gonna fire? What's going on? Like, seriously, I'd kind of like to fire the... Okay, there we go. Let's see. Are we gonna let me fire? Okay, no, apparently not. Oh, I was too low on the horizon. Okay, whatever. Apparently that's not gonna work. But my thunders and my quarrelers are already wrecking the living snot out of the dwarves here. And I'm gonna be ready to get this unit to run. But yeah, I want you all to kind of see some of the action here, going back and forth. My quarrelers laying into these guys, my thunders laying into them. Now, some of you are saying that dwarfs have charge defense. They do, but it's against large units. They don't really have charge defense against infantry. Some units do, but in general, they do not. So it is actually better for me to charge orc infantry for the most part. I'm going to kind of just use the cinematic view, but for a minute. Let's get my faction leaders up here. Let's get some more close-ups, because I don't always get you enough of those. Woo! That orc war boss. That orc war boss. Is he running off, though? Yeah, there's my dwarf lord right there, too. He's also looking pretty sweet with the cape and the giant axe. So the orc war boss is running off. Most of his troops are running off. This is not going to end well for the dwarf, or for the orcs people. Definitely not going to end well. They charged my quarrelers with a bunch of their wolf riders and wolf archers, but yeah, charging quarrelers with really light cavalry like that is typically not successful, because quarrelers are actually they're pretty decent in melee for a missile unit. They're not a missile unit that won't shrug off a very light cavalry like that. Now, a heavy cavalry like a Boar Boys or a Demigriff or Empire Knight, something like that, yeah, it's going to crush them. But, you know, a lighter cavalry unit like that, you can't count on it to always successfully deal with quarrelers. Could it tie them down? Yes. But will it destroy them? Most likely not. Alright, so we killed Brain Basha. We got a follower, which is a stonemason. Definitely nothing wrong with that. It's going to give me extra income in the local region. We settled a grudge, which is the first time in a long time. Not even going to budge my meter, though, because we got some other old, nasty grudges in here. One of which wants me to go attack the undead. That's not going to happen for quite some time. But we can try and clear this grudge by a successful assassination attempt eventually. Though we are certainly not in any present condition to accomplish that. Let's see. Resolute, charge bonus, ancestral grudge. Probably... I'd said, though, that I was kind of... I didn't level this up. The AI did this down here. Miner's Instincts. We can get up to... Wow, we can drop the Chaos and Vampiric Corruption pretty quick with him. We can also reduce enemy holdout time. Attrition and increase attrition suffered by defenders. This Miner's Instinct can actually be pretty helpful for intercepting Greenskins, so I'm actually going to give him that. It really isn't a bad skill to have. Let's see, Crooked Fang. This place is going to be pretty unhappy. I have to have a level 2 settlement before I can build any of the structures that help boost public order. So I'm going to start heading that direction in terms of getting things done. I'm going to move Thorgrim forward to move on Krattummen, and we'll see if we can just get some more work done in that respect while our high-level military buildings are getting built up here. Have a damaged building in Blightwater. I didn't save any money to repair it, so we're just going to have to end the turn and repair it on the next turn. Well, we got the Misty Mountains back. Took me long enough. Makes me want to get the soundtrack to The Hobbit and play that Misty Mountain song like I'll sing in Bilbo's house at Bag End. That was a pretty cool song, though, you have to admit. Great! Critical success once again. This Garsnag the Backstabber has killed, I think, probably my Lord. Yeah, he's dead. A level 12 Lord completely gone. Lost the, wow. Just completely killed a level 12 ward like it was nothing.
Time for a reckoning.
I don't have much to say about that, so I'm not going to say anything. I am pretty unhappy about it. Really unhappy about it. Oh, I didn't mean to fight this battle. Son of a crap. Well, I don't know. But maybe I should fight it and just show you how crazy it is trying to take the walls. And if I lose my army altogether, I can always go back and load. But really shouldn't have fought this. I don't know if my guys can pull ladders out of their butts or not either. I know that some people can do that. Believe it or not. Let us... The problem is that the towers can fire at you from... They can fire at you from any range, all the way back to the edge of the map. I'm going to spread out some of my skirmishers up front to try and absorb some of the fire. Thorgrim Grudgebearer. Okay, there we go, we got him. These are our great weapon units. I'll try and save them to go through the gates. We got some pretty nasty infantry here to try and deal with. Okay, these guys, let's go off fire at will. Go ahead and take out the gates. Let's push forward with all these units just to start firing at the orcs. Same thing with the thunders. Push forward. Yeah, the towers are going to take a huge toll on me. Yeah, okay, these guys can pull ladders out of their butts. So let's see if that works. We can use his ability here in a minute to increase the reload time and accuracy to help out our grudge throwers. Yeah, I've got to move up my crossbows to get in. My quarrelers, sorry, to get within firing range. And same thing with my thunders. They can start doing some pretty decent damage from down here, though they'll be taking some severe damage from the towers, especially if the towers have been upgraded any. So my grudge throwers hurling their stones. I mean, the siege maps look really cool. A lot of people, though, have complaints with the siege maps because they feel very repetitive. Not all of them are just straight at a wall like this. Some of them are kind of at a corner. Some of them kind of have a little bit different look. I'm kind of trying to think about what would have made siege battles cooler. I mean, you look back here and you see these epic-looking maps, and it really would have made siege battles a little bit neater, in my opinion. Maybe what if they went in like phases? Where the first phase of the battle is you had to capture this bottom part. Okay, great. And then on the next turn, you had to try and like fight your way up into these fortresses and stuff like that. I mean, and of course the enemy is losing its defenders as it goes and stuff like that. But just, I don't know, anything like that would have been interesting to see in terms of just giving an opportunity for something to be different. Is this like Shogun 2 where some of your guys die climbing the walls? I have no idea. The gatehouse is getting pretty wrecked. I'm going to go ahead and start running these infantry forward to try and get through the gatehouse. Okay, bust that gate open. We're getting pretty close. Let's check out the ladder climbing. Yeah, my guys just pulled ladders out of their rear end. But hey, it gets me up the walls. We'll take it. You can see the orc defenders up here. Again, the setting and everything's kind of cool. Lighting's a little bit funky on siege maps, which is another... Again, it's one of my few complaints against Warhammer. For the most part, Warhammer is very, very good. But yeah, it is definitely a complaint of mine in that respect. Okay, get my guys all up the ladders. We're capping some of the towers, which is good. My quarrelers are getting a ton of work done over here. Very helpful. The enemy gates are destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and get my grudge throwers working on one of their remaining towers. And let's keep using this ability to get these guys to be more accurate. Use my master engineer to inspire my artillery. I'm going to start bringing dwarf warriors over here to kind of pile into this fight, but I'm going to get a couple of them and try and get down here to the ground level. And I'm going to do the same thing with my thunderers. I'm going to try and get them up the ladders. And meanwhile, my quarrelers seem to be doing pretty well up there. Let's take all these units with great weapons. And I'm going to pile in through the gates, and I'm going to bring my lord in through the gates as well. But it looks like we are beating back the Greenskins. Yeah, again, the lighting here is not ideal from that angle. Something that needs to be addressed. See my dwarfs chasing off Greenskins here. It's telling me to press forward into the heart of the city. Here comes all my dwarfs through the gates, all my guys with great weapons, meeting a little bit of resistance and some bow fire while we're there. And here comes Thorgrim himself, too. All they're being met by is goblin archers, so... And, yeah, that's not going to do a whole lot to stop me. Their 4 spider riders are going to come down here against my dwarf warriors over here. They'll knock me down a little bit on the charge, but spider riders aren't going to have the damage to really take on a full infantry unit like that. These orc biggins, otherwise, those are going to actually be some tough units. But all these units with great weapons here, plus Thorgrim, ought to be able to get the job done. I'm going to use the Helm of Discord on this orc biggin. We'll help tear it apart. But yeah, the dudes with the great weapons should be better against these orc biggins that actually have a little armor. Any unit with armor is what the great weapons are meant for. There's Thorgrim himself busting his way into this fight, pounding some greenskin face. Let's bring these dwarf warriors over here. Let's bring the thunderers down here too. And my units with great weapons now up against some trolls here too. The trolls probably won't do that great. I mean, trolls almost seem like they're going to be better for like flanking or something. In a straight-on engagement, they don't tend to do too brilliantly. Even though they're anti-infantry, they're low leadership, especially if they start to get outflanked a little bit or something. They'll turn tail and run pretty quick. And I think those trolls did. Yeah, they did. So, as I was saying, got some dwarf warriors over here. Let's get these thunders and get ready to put some flank fire down on the town center where all the remaining orcs are collecting themselves. Meanwhile, these spider riders are getting cut down. Let me come from this angle where the lighting's a little better. Yeah, spider riders getting cut down by my dwarf warriors. Ooh, yeah, that lighting. Look at that, all the shadows and stuff going on there. Definitely something that Creative Assembly needs to address. I need to go check and see whether or not it's been brought up in the forums. It should be. I know other YouTubers brought it to their attention. Like I said, though, it really was one of the only major gripes that I had with the game at launch, and that's fixable. I'll find ways to forgive things like that as opposed to the launch of Rome 2, which was broken in so many ways, whereas this game is working quite well in so many ways. There goes my Thunders, opening fire into the flank of all these dwarves fighting for their city, or not dwarves, sorry, Greenskins, and they are going to take off running. The Thunders are going to break them. So it is a victory for Thorgrim, and a pretty convincing victory there, as the auto-resolve predicted. So not as bad as I thought. The towers there hadn't been upgraded, so they weren't nearly so vicious as they can be. Plus, you also have to remember too that dwarves have shields and armor for the most part. Not shields on the great weapon units, obviously, but shields and armor make a huge difference in fending off at least the lower level missile attacks. We're gonna sack and then occupy. So pretty nice result there in order to take this place out. So I'm liking it. We got that taken care of. How are we doing here on siege equipment? I've got stuff we need, I think, to get the job done here. Let's go ahead and fight this battle too. It'll be another siege battle. Let's see how the lighting is in this one. Not every siege map is the same in terms of whether or not you get the bad lighting. And here you can see this siege map is mostly the same, only different in the sense that there's 2 gates rather than 1. So, but mostly the same. Let's check out the lighting up close and see if it's... Yeah, see, the lighting on this map is considerably better. A little bit wonky from that side, but a lot better from this side. So, yeah, it's not every map is that way. But again, I'm trying to be fair and call that out to y'all and let you know that it is definitely, in my opinion, something that's outstanding still that needs to be addressed by Creative Assembly. But it's not game breaking. You can adjust your alpha settings, like your alpha and brightness and stuff like that, and it will certainly help. But again, not trying to forgive them on the fact that the lighting in that situation definitely does need to be fixed. I've got my Thane here. Probably want to get him into some combat because I want him to help level up, and same thing with this Lord here. And look at the dwarf siege towers, by the way, too. They are awesome, like so awesome. The dwarf siege towers are amazing, and the vampire siege towers are pretty wicked looking too. I haven't seen some of the others, but yeah, the dwarf siege tower is just like the giant standing dwarf, which, again, I think kind of reminiscent of the fact that they're supposed to be like master craftsmen and stuff like that. Very, very nice touch. Some of the little things like that that just kind of make this game pretty exciting. Okay, so we got our giant dwarves moving forward. I'm going to take out the gate with the ram. Actually, my iron breakers, or my miners are good against gates. Let's just drop the ram. And my miners should get to the gate faster. So, got my siege towers moving in. My quarrelers are about to be in range, and we'll be able to deal a lot of damage to these orc boys. The orc boy Biggins should be a little more well protected. Look at the nice little greenskin touches on the settlement, though. Very, like, you can tell that this used to be a dwarf settlement, but it's got like the greenskin stuff, like, just kind of mashed on top of it. So, nice touch, you know, the way that they did handle the way the settlements look. The settlements look great. I think that a lot of people just have the problem with the fact that there are no small settlements, and that the siege battles, while streamlined, are lacking compared to past. But again, in some ways, I haven't played enough of these siege battles to determine how I want them fixed, or if I want them fixed. So I want to play more of it and just make sure that I really have some issues with it first. I think I do, but like I said, I kind of want to just give it a chance and see what I think, because it is new, and I'll try and give CA credit where they're doing something new in order to give it a chance to see whether or not it works. Oh wow, look at my guys here. I think I have to put them into melee to go after the gates though. But look at that, set the gate on fire almost. That was crazy. It says miners are good against gates. I'm assuming they just use their pickaxes because they're armor piercing. Let's see if they can take out the gates. Try and get some more sweet close-ups here. Yeah, look at them hacking at the gates. That looks pretty fun, actually. They blob up a little, but not Attila bad. Right now, though, they'd still be poking at each other. Look, you can actually see the orcs running around on the other side. That's pretty sweet. Oh, they're actually ripping the gates down pretty quick. So that's actually fairly handy. My Quarreler's getting a lot of work done. Let's get my my Thane and my Dwarf Lord ready to go through the gates first, because they're going to be some powerful infantry units. I'm going to pull the miners back once we bust the gates open, and they did so pretty quick there. That was impressive. That was definitely impressive. Let's actually just use them to chuck a couple of mining charges through there. Soften these guys up a little bit before we take our lords in. Let's see if it works. I'm going to chuck some mining. Oh yeah, this is going to be beautiful. Look at that. It's like gates are open, chumps. Welcome to a little bit of dwarf mayhem right here. Yeah, I'm going to give the miners a stop order there. And here comes my Dwarf Lord, first one charging through. And he's going to be in a pretty rough fight there. I'm going to send my miners in. So my dwarf heroes leading the charge through the gates. My warriors are mopping up the walls quite nicely, actually. Let's send more help in down by the gates. And let's use my Quarrelers to help just finish up some of these units that are fighting my guys on the walls. Friendly fire isn't terribly bad here. Ooh, there's a troll unit right there. It's actually going to be kind of hard to take down because my numbers are limited. But my lords are actually doing pretty good at helping to push some of these guys back from the gate. Though these orc boy biggins will stagger your lords sometimes. Here's one of my dwarf lords. Looking pretty sweet there. And then the other one, my Thane was over here. There he is. I don't know exactly which. Whoa, check that out, man. Knocking the orcs around. They call them stunties, but I don't know who's the stunty now. Orc boy biggins getting tossed around by a little dwarf. So we're getting some pretty good work done there. The trolls are starting to waver. We've cleaned up a fight right here. I'm actually going to bring these guys down off the walls. And let's bring my Quarrelers all up on the walls to fire down. I've got dwarf warriors coming off the walls to help outflank, and my legendary lord, or my lord and my Thane are actually doing quite well though. We're about to surround the Greenskins here. So this is going to be a pretty sweet fight here. Watch my dwarf warriors come in and surround the Greenskins at the gate, and my miners and my lord pushing through all the nasty goblin spider riders. Just check these guys out up close. Awesome unit models going on here. Just brutal fighting between these bitter opponents. Enemies to the end, no doubt. There's a few goblin archers still up on the wall, but my Quarrelers in melee will actually deal with them quite handily. The trolls are coming back in for seconds, so I'm going to turn around and meet them. My guys aren't braced, so we're going to eat that. We're also going to eat some troll vomit probably any moment here. Let's watch the trolls vomit on my men. Come on, do it. Vomit. Troll vomit. Ultra graphics vomit, please. Hopefully we got like, yeah, there it is over there. On Ultra it should have like little chunks of fish heads and everything in there too. Alright, the trolls got pushed back. Game really is beautiful looking game. Like I said, other than the few lighting issues that you run into. We took a bit of a beating on some of our units here. Not like end of the world, but I mean, we got beat up a little. I'm going to try and take out some of their goblin archers over here. Whew, those goblin archers. Firing away at me. Let's get our Quarrelers up and ready to shoot at them. I want to get my Quarrelers here so that we can mop up easily what's on the town center without having to get more of my infantry killed, because it's already getting killed to a pretty great extent. Come on, Quarrelers, let's go. You all get over here, please. Here comes the spider riders. Spider Riders are going to be of little concern to me. Alright, Quarrelers. Fire back. Let's teach these Goblin Archers a lesson, please. There we go. Finally got some Quarrelers firing back. These Goblin Archers have been firing away. Again, really cool unit models on these guys. Very nice. Goblins. The stunties of the Greenskin world. Quarrelers very superior to Goblin Archers, so shouldn't have any issue there. I'm gonna bring up some Quarrelers over here, and I'm gonna bring up some of my Quarrelers here. I need some of my healthier units to support the combat, so we're gonna get that ready. I'm gonna send my Thane up here to pound out these Goblin Archers that are still on the wall. Alright, and we're just gonna see what's left for the Greenskins over here. Shattered, just broken for the Goblin Archers. Let's move on into the Greenskin settlement. Okay, my Thane's up here. Let's watch him pound the crap out of some of these Goblin Archers. These guys are gonna get mauled. Yeah, I think they already routed. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So I'm gonna have my Thane help get rid of those guys. The Goblin Spider Riders doubled back on me when they came back. But again, a few of them are not gonna be any match for the Quarrelers. They have axes and shields when they fight in melee, and they do pretty darn well. The Goblin Archers have regrouped here. Take them out. No, you all... Wait a minute. Yeah, you all come through here. It looked like I had my Quarrelers selected, but I didn't. Unit collisions a lot trickier on this game. Like, units will bump into each other while trying to move through them. It kind of does force you to try and do a little bit better with your units or suffer a lot of slowdowns, which honestly is probably kind of good. Check out my Thane chasing off these poor goblins. No mercy for the routing. I think they're shattered, probably. No, they're just broken, so I'm going to let him chase them so it gets them off the battlefield. Those Goblin Archers are about to be shattered. There's a Wolf Rider Archer up in the center of the town. I'm going to use these Quarrelers to smash it, and then I'm just going to leave my Dwarf Warriors here to block the Trolls from getting into my Quarrelers. And then I'm going to move these Quarrelers in over here. Get the flanking. There we go. Yep. So the Trolls and the Spider Riders came in, all while I'm able to chase off their Wolf Riders with my Quarrelers. So rest of the Greenskins rout. Got some successful Dwarf sieges in there. Some with equipment, some with ladders. Almost seems like the ladders work fine as long as you have missile supremacy. Since my Quarrelers outmatched just their typical Goblin Archers. Now, if they had like a bunch of Savage Orc Air Boys or something, that might be a different story. Well, we gained some armor, a treasure. None of those things are going to be bad. Got us a whole bunch of money from sacking these settlements. I would say that we are in pretty fair shape at the moment. Trinket market. Let's go ahead and build the stuff that helps us with growth. And that way we can build up this province into something useful. Well, we have one building for growth. Let's go ahead and do the trinket maker, and then when that finishes, we can put the public order building. Trying to think what else we want to do. May not hurt to. So we got lumber here. Let's take advantage of the lumber because we're going to need the trade. We'll use some of our population surplus there. Let's take a look at some of the other provinces around. We need to repair at the Misty Mountains. I want to build up this gem cutter here with some of the money that I've gotten. What do we have here? A stone cutter's shop. We need some growth here in this province. Plus, I want to use our population surplus there. Spite Peak, we could do a little bit of growth, but it's not going to be the end of the world. We fixed the Misty Mountains. Let's see what we can do up here at Death Pass. Not a whole lot that needs to be done, other than probably upgrading this to a gold smelter. So now we should have a lot more money on the way to help support some of the awesome units that'll soon be available. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I will be back soon with some more awesome Dwarf Campaign action.